Good evening and welcome to Munch Time Sports with me, Brian Buffont. Yes, the tape is back. And we once again have breaking news from Watford. Where else would we possibly be? The manager, Munch, is suffering with alleged food poisoning after having a rather dodgy home-cooked meal with one of his players. The Watford manager is said to be out for an indeterminate amount of time, and now the responsibility for the team falls upon his assistant manager, actor Sean Bean. Yes, Sean Bean. We're fortunate enough now to join Sean live on the actual phone. Sean, how is MikeRo first of all?
That bastard was gone off even when he was alive.
I see. So he's actually dead because we haven't got that information.
I think I'd sooner the bastard he were.
Right. Okay. Well, rumour has it that the actual food poisoning has come from a meal cooked by one of his own players. Can you confirm that this is true?
There's always bloody rumours.
Sean, I would like to make you aware that this is daytime television, so please can you keep the language to a minimum, please?
I won't bloody apologise.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Sean. I'm sure we're going to have to cut it there, considering, obviously, that it's before the watershed.
You bloody old bishop.
What is he talking about? Bloody old bishop? Do I look like a bishop? Honestly. Hello viewers, I'm afraid no live commentary today. I was unfortunately very unwell yesterday, but I managed to kind of get through it and I recorded a fair amount of gameplay, but I didn't do any live commentary, which I hope you'll understand. So today's going to be a bit of a post-com, but don't worry, I've given it that lovely old MikeRo twist, so you'll still get some skits in there. It's going to be nice. If you are enjoying the series, then please do remember to drop a like on the video right now before you get into Sean's escapades with the team. Let's have a run through of what's gone down. We started off pretty well between me and Sean until he saw the canteen, and then he had a few views that he needed to air, that's for sure.
Bloody soup, haven't you got any tea?
Yeah, he wasn't very impressed, and neither were the dinner ladies, to be fair. So we started off our run of games without me with a game away at Middlesbrough, which was potentially quite difficult. Watford is now back in the squad, returning from injury, but did not start today. Nathaniel Chalobah was the man in the middle. And we made a pretty decent start as João Pedro tested the palms of the goalkeeper, but he palmed it away to safety. And before you knew it, Middlesbrough were on the attack, and this happened. Yep, Ashley Fletcher scoring. And safe to say, Sean was not particularly impressed.
Oh, shit.
But it was not long before we kind of got back on the score sheet. 43 minutes, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek does well here on the ball. Tees it into Will Hughes, takes one touch and bends it into the far corner. Not a bad finish at all. It was pretty close going into the second half, but Sarr got on the ball here and just wriggled his way through into Will Hughes, who played it out wide to Ken Seymour. Ken Seymour darted the line, and what about this for a finish? Seymour tees it in, and it's a superb finish by Myron Boadu, who continues his scintillating form in front of goal. He's absolutely unplayable at the moment, and I actually saved the replay for this because it was just that good. Wonderful ball in by Seymour, and he takes it on his right foot. I mean, he's absolutely caught that. Sweet as a nut. A wonderful finish from Myron Boadu. Just off. It's just absolutely sumptuous. Goalie has absolutely no chance. And that was to be it. We played out the rest of the game. It was pretty drab, to be fair, and we ended up claiming a big 2-1 win away at the Riverside. Not a bad start at all. Next up was a trip to Carrow Road, and Watford did make his return in this game, long awaited after a really long injury. And we got off to a decent start here as Boadu picks up the ball just outside, and he plays inside, takes one touch and hits it on his wrong foot into the corner. A lovely finish. You'll know that we played Norwich earlier on in the season, but before I lost the save, and we managed to draw that game. But we weren't having any of that today as Ken Seymour found João Pedro here. Pedro plays it really nicely into the path of Ruben Loftus-Cheek, very similar to the first goal. And of course, he's been in scintillating form this year at RLC. He was never missing that. Drills it into the far corner again. Very, very comfortable indeed. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be the last goal, as Norwich did manage to pull one back with a lovely teamwork move here as they take it onto the right foot and he bends it into that far corner again off the face of the keeper. It seems to be a very, very solid finish this year in FIFA. We made a couple of changes to try and stem the flow. Sean did a pretty good job, but going into the last few minutes, was it to be another draw at Carrow Road? It's some brilliant footwork here by Hernandez. He's doing heel-to-heel flicks, drag-backs, absolutely does me there. Niambe unlucky not to win the ball, but Hernandez teased it to Sorensen, who scored their goal. Pass it to Buendia. Can he finish? Very, very lucky. Last kick of the game, they hit the post. It goes wide. We all breathe a collective sigh of relief another big 3 points notched up on the road against a potential rival. I wasn't particularly that pleased really with the performance there. I felt that we could do a lot better, even though obviously I drew earlier on the season. So me and Sean decided to have a little bit of a chat on the phone. He was not too pleased with my feedback for him.
Everybody expects me to solve their bloody
Yeah, I
problems, so
understand
for
that,
God's
Sean.
sake, give me some help.
I will give you help. I'm trying to do the best I can, mate, okay? I can only do so much from back here, alright? I'll be on the phone to you whenever you need during matches or whatever it is that you need, okay? In all fairness, I even let him handle the team talk at the end of the Norwich game, and it was not pleasant hearing.
What the bloody hell were you doing? Next time I give you an order, you bloody jump too. Understood?
Come on,
No, we bloody not! Hope you lazy bastards!
Oh dear, they're not going to like that. They're not going to like that at all. Next up was a game against Millwall at Vicarage Road, and it was a very dull half with a 0-0 for the first half, us creating absolutely nothing in the way of chances. And it's safe to say Sean's words at half-time invigorated the boys as we played through Myron Bodu, and that is absolutely some finish. He just smashes that into the far corner. A brilliant, brilliant finish from our main goal scorer, and he currently is leading the race for the golden boot. We decided to watch this again. I mean, it's just the cleanliness of the hit. Brilliant ball from Loftus-Cheek, one touch. It's an emphatic finish from Myron, who's definitely got to be up there for signing of the season so far. I mean, just look at it. It explodes off his boot. Insane finish. Love it. And we kept pressing as Camavinga went in search of his first goal for the club, but a brilliant save by the goalkeeper who was on top form in this game to deny him there. But then Camavinga whips in the corner. João Pedro, again, another fantastic save from the goalkeeper, Bielowski. But it won't be long before we do manage to take the lead as João Pedro makes no mistake from this corner, heading it in. First time I think we scored from a corner in the series. A 2-0 lead turned into a 2-0 victory. Very, very comfortable in the end. Millwall didn't really offer anything going forward. I was very, very pleased with the performance, and it was a good bounce back. We then took on struggling Coventry again at Vicarage Road. A team that we had had a couple of issues with before and scored a couple of goals in the return fixture when I didn't lose the save. But in this one there was to be no issue here as Ken Seamer hits the bar. I thought it was in after 6 minutes, but at half-time, still 0-0. And a little bit cagey from us. Wasn't our best performance, but of course, you know how good we are. On the counter, Ken Seamer runs here, plays it into João Pedro, who takes the ball out of his feet, gets around the man, shoots across the goalkeeper. It's a decent save, but he can only parry it into the path of Boadu, who again continues to pick up the goals. And that goal would prove to be decisive. You can tell here, it's brilliant play by João Pedro. I decided I would just hit it across the goalkeeper, hope for the best. Decent finish by Boadu to be in the right place at the right time. We made some substitutions, but 1-0 was enough to seal the game as we went in search of a second just before the end. João Pedro on the ball here, plays the ball into Will Hughes, who stings the fingers of Bielowski again, but he was absolutely exceptional. But it was not enough to stop us from winning. So far so good under Sean Bean's tutelage, but this came a big one. I actually had to haul myself up to go and meet up with Christian Cabasele at our favourite restaurant, which we're basically paying for at the moment because that's where we meet everyone, to give him a contract extension as his contract was running out at the end of the year. And the last game of the episode was against Rotherham away. Now, we have struggled against Rotherham in the past. These are the kind of teams I do drop points against. We decided to make some changes with Durame and Camavinga coming into the starting lineup to give us a little bit more attacking impetus. But it was not to go the way I thought it would, as sadly I found Smith here, and they played some lovely balls as Lindsay into Vassell. I can't believe I said balls. Vassell here plays a lovely ball into Crooks, and you can tell the passing here was exceptional. There was no way he was going to miss. I got a little unlucky by the fact I didn't get the tackle, but we have to run with it. It's a bit of a shame, but ultimately it's a really good goal of them, and it was richly deserved. They were by far the better team up to that point. But we are made of strong stuff these days, as João Pedro found Camavinga, who played the ball out to Ismail Assar. He didn't even need to take a touch. He missed it, the original one, but then gets a little bit lucky with the rebound, which I think makes up for the tackle they scored from. And we did manage to equalise just before half-time, and I thought that that would give us a really big impetus going into the second half, and that we would be able to win this game relatively comfortably just due to the momentum we would have gained. We made a solid start to the second half as we managed to head over from the corner there. João Pedro, again, not really on the mark today. Didn't have his best day in terms of scoring goals. Rotherham were still in the game and played some sensational football here. As you can tell, they completely just cut me open here. Smith into Crooks, back to Sadly, who was giving me nightmares all day. Crooks, and he just hits it wide, but a decent save by Ben Foster.
How the bloody hell could things get worse, Pat?
I have no idea, Sean. Yep, a penalty given for something very, very soft. Sadly, has stepped up, took the shot, and we found ourselves 2-1 behind against struggling Rotherham. We were not pleased, it's safe to say. But we pursued and kept going. 68th minute, Durame on the left-hand side, driving inside, looking for his man. Finds João Pedro. Great snapshot, decent save by the goalkeeper. A bit of a comfortable height for him, you'd have to say. But Sarr does well to keep the ball alive. And a little 1-2 by Nyambe leaves him in on goal.
So bloody big you can't miss it. Oh, shit.
Indeed, Sean. Corner, 80th minute. We whip it in. Free header for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Heads it over the bar, and we have one last chance here in the 90th minute. Sarr manages to move the ball across the pitch. Pedro teasing Durame. Moment of magic from him. Not quite. Tease it back to João Pedro. He hits it, and Blackman makes a sensational save. We end up losing 2-1. Not a good day at the office. With an eye on January, I'm looking at a chap called Frank Onyeka, who's been recommended to me in the comments section. I have to say, he looks very good for a CDM, and I'm looking for maybe a bit more protection for our back four that is really struggling at the moment to stop conceding goals. In terms of where we are, then, we're 3 points behind Brentford and only 2 points behind Nottingham Forest going in to January. And we are playing Nottingham Forest's first game of next episode, so I hope you'll be there to join us for it. Thank you so much for watching the episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, then please do drop a like on the video, share, and subscribe, and enter. See you for another episode of the Watford Save. Take care of yourselves, everyone, and stay cool.